Motivation is not about willpower. Have you ever just had those days like me where you love what you do, you're excited about your goals, but for some reason, you can't seem to get started or to even get out of bed? You are not lazy. You don't lack willpower. The truth is, motivation isn't just about discipline. It's about brain chemistry. It's about psychology, and it's even about your environment. In this video, we're breaking down exactly why motivation fluctuates and how you can work with your brain instead of fighting against it. So here is what I'm going to be covering in this video. I want to talk a little bit about the science of motivation, how dopamine, the circadian rhythm, and even sleep cycles control your drive. I want to talk about why you are struggling right now. The real reason your motivation has dropped, even if you love what you do. Then I want to talk about how to work with your brain and not against it, honey. We are going to talk about practical science-backed strategies to boost your motivation daily, weekly, and even seasonally. I mean, we are in the middle of spring right now, and let me tell you something. My allergies, my very disposition around spring and fall changes completely. So we will talk about step-by-step solutions for staying consistent, simple habits and mindset shifts you can use to regain focus and momentum. And by the end of this video, you'll have a clear plan to overcome those motivation slumps and stay productive no matter what. Let's dive right into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nandy, and on this channel, we do not chase hypes. We do not believe in shortcuts. We believe in building wealth the right way. This channel is where ambitious women in corporate America learn how to leverage their careers, build financial independence, and create real opportunities so that an exit is a choice and not a necessity. You're not just here to watch. You're here to join the Power Move Collective. And remember, on this channel, we believe that wealth isn't an escape plan, it's a power move. Let's make it happen. If you want to stop relying on willpower and start using brain science to motivate effortlessly, this video is for you. Before we get started, I have a small ask. Please give me a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and share this video with another woman you know who's in corporate America and wants to take her career to the next level while building wealth on the side. On this channel, I bring you guys videos on finance, career, and business because all three of those things can be used to make up your power move outside of corporate America. Now let's get back into this video. We often think of motivation as a matter of discipline, sheer willpower, or this is the best one that makes us very American. Push through it. But what if motivation wasn't entirely in our control? What if it was more about the chemistry in our brains, the psychology of our habits, and the environment around us? For me, it hit me this morning. Over the past few weeks, I've been excited about my work, truly energized, eager to execute on my big ideas, full of momentum. But today, my God, it was dark outside, 7:13 a.m., and I was still in bed, struggling to get up. I felt unmotivated in a way that doesn't really align with how much I love what I do. Then it hit me. Daylight savings time. So technically, my body was still thinking that it was 6 a.m. And suddenly, my recent struggle with motivation made perfect sense. It's not about willpower, it's about brain chemistry. So I want you to think about motivation as a chemical affair. It isn't just a mindset, it's a neurochemical process. The drive to take action is actually largely driven by dopamine and neurotransmitters associated with reward and pleasure. When dopamine levels are high, we feel energized and focused. We are eager to pursue our goals. But when they drop lower, motivation really begins to feel like an uphill battle. There are several factors that influence dopamine production in your brain. We'll take a minute and quickly talk about three of those factors. The first one I'm going to talk about is the circadian rhythm. You see, our biological clock regulates hormone production, including dopamine and cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone that helps us wake up. When external factors like daylight savings time disrupt the rhythm, our motivation and energy level actually takes a hit. I notice this seasonally personally, even when there isn't a lot of sunlight outside, I usually tend to have lights around me to give me a little bit of a boost of motivation. And this leads to the next thing that we're going to talk about, that is sunlight exposure. Natural light exposure in the morning triggers serotonin production, which later converts to melatonin that helps you regulate sleep. So, less sunlight in the morning actually means lower serotonin levels. And this can actually lead to fatigue and a lack of motivation. This is really important. I find myself sometimes during the day, on a day like today, when the sunlight is a little bit lower, we are around mid end of March, we're starting to get into outside of winter and into the spring. So sunlight comes and it goes. My energy level tends to be lower. My mood is down the toilet. So is my motivation. What I would often do is that I would turn on extra lights. So in my office, I have about 4 lights around me because that is really what my body. And the third thing I'm going to talk about around this time is sleep disruption. So even minor shifts in your sleep cycle can reduce the quality of rest you get, and this will actually impair dopamine functioning, which will leave you feeling very sluggish. So around this time, you really need to be mindful of how well you sleep at night. Reduce the amount of caffeine, work out a little bit more. Not only will it help to boost the amount of dopamine and endorphins in your body, but it will also help you sleep better as well. So we talked about the science of motivation. Now let's talk about the psychology for a little bit, right? When it comes to the psychology of motivation, there's expectation and then there's reality. Psychologically, motivation is fueled by momentum. When we expect to feel a certain way, energized, productive, driven, but our body is not cooperating, we experience cognitive dissonance. So we think, I should be excited about this, but we're not. And this disconnect can create frustration, which ironically depletes your motivation. Our brain loves predictability. They thrive on routine. When a time shift or you have a change in season, or even something as simple as a cloudy morning disrupts your routine, our internal reward system is momentarily thrown off balance. You actually have to work with your brain and not against it. If motivation is chemical, psychological, and environmental, then the key to sustaining it isn't relying on willpower. It's actually to create conditions that support optimal brain function. Let's break it down into key challenges. So, the first challenge around this time is struggling to get started in the morning. You wake up feeling groggy, sluggish, unmotivated, even though you have important things to do. Your brain feels like it's stuck in sleep mode, making it very difficult to start a day productively. First of all, let's do a mindset shift. Your brain isn't resisting work, it's adjusting to environmental changes. The first thing I want you to do or think about is getting some sort of light exposure. This could be stepping outside within the first hour of waking up. even on a cloudy day, because even on a cloudy day, you're still getting some sunlight that will kind of help you wake up and feel better regulated, right? Natural light will help you almost regulate your circadian rhythm and boost the serotonin levels in your brain. This will almost naturally stimulate your brain. And the second thing I want you to do is to continue with that brain stimulation by drinking water first thing in the morning, right? And doing some stretches or even playing something like an energizing song to boost your dopamine level. I'm going to tell you that's exactly what I did this morning. This is my filming day. And when I woke up this morning, I had a really, really rough morning. So what I did, I just kind of went outside in my balcony for a few minutes, said hi to the plants, got myself a little bit energized and excited for today. Then I went back inside, put on some feel good Zumba music and kind of started dancing to the music to get myself excited. Eventually I started feeling that little boost in energy. But the other thing that I even do around this time is take a shower to kind of like help the circulation in my body going. So we got that out of the way. The second challenge we tend to have around this time is kind of feeling that sudden drop in motivation. You were feeling great about your work last week, but now everything feels like a chore. You're struggling to stay engaged and you wonder why that motivation has disappeared. So, motivation, first of all, mindset shift here. This is really important. We can move into strategies, actionable steps, but the first thing I want you to do is to remind yourself that motivation isn't consistent. It ebbs and it flows. And that ebbing and flowing has brain chemistry involved in it. As the chemistry in your mind shifts, so will your motivation. So, practical steps I want you to take here, right? After you've done the mindset shift, we shift our minds first, then we move into the practical steps, okay? I want you to track your energy patterns. Pay attention to when you feel most alert during the day and schedule deep work around those windows. This is really important. I'm a morning person. I do best when I wake up early in the morning, get all my stuff done, because by the time 2 o'clock comes, Nandy is gone. My energy is down the toilet. No matter how hard I try, it's very difficult. Now, what I've also noticed about myself is that sometimes if I miss the morning window, I get a good 15-minute nap in the afternoon. I'm more productive again later on in the evening, but then that messes up my sleep. So you really need to take the time to really understand when you're most productive during the day, and your deep work, that's when it happens. And by deep work, we mean when you're prioritizing your work, what is the most important thing that will take up most of your energy and will require most of your focus. That's when you schedule it, get it all done, get it out of the way, and throughout the day, you can just do things that might want you to be alert, but not super in the weeds. The second thing we're doing here is that we're using small wins to generate momentum. If motivation feels low, you need to start somewhere. Start with small, manageable tasks. As you accomplish them, dopamine will be released. As you're making progress, your brain is releasing dopamine, so you're starting to feel good. So even just checking off a minor task can create that momentum for you. The third challenge around this time is really struggling with seasonal and circadian rhythm shift, right? This has to do with your sleep pattern. This is because the seasonal changes in daylight savings times disrupt our sleep patterns and they throw off our routine. So you really kind of feel almost like you're out of sync and unable to focus. The mindset shift I want you to make here is to remind yourself you are not lazy. Very important. You're not lazy, and this is temporary. It's just a temporary misalignment of your biological clock, and you will get back to normal. And the practical steps that I want you to take here is to adjust gradually to the time change. I really want you to be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up because it's really easy to do around this time. If you're like me, we're driven girlies, we got things to do, goals to achieve, money to make. We start beating ourselves up. That actually makes the situation worse because you're increasing serotonin and not dopamine, right? We are moving into a place of kindness. We are moving into a place of success with joy and kindness and abundance, not scarcity. So, what I didn't do is what I want you to do. Try to be cognizant of when the time shifts are coming and plan for them. I find out that daylight savings happened on a meeting with a customer on Monday. I was just wondering why I couldn't get out of bed. But then in a meeting, somebody was like, oh, daylight savings happened. I was like, well, that explains a lot. So if you know a time shift is coming, start adjusting your sleep schedule by 15-minute increments a few days in advance. So like planning goes a long way. And I hate this particular step because it goes back to who we really are as like corporate girlies, business women and stuff. We're always about planning and preparing for it, but it really does make a big difference because if you can prepare for it, your body is not so shocked by it. The second practical step I want you to take here is to optimize evenings for better sleep. This is a big one that I am personally struggling to work with. Um, so on this channel, I'm always open with what I do well and what I do not do well. I am working on building a better sleeping schedule. That probably explains why this whole week effed me up because my schedule really needs to be optimized. This is when you're really reducing blue light exposure at night and you're keeping a consistent bedtime routine. So, what a lot of people do, which is what I aspire to do and to become, is to engage in some sort of relaxing pre sleep routine so that you're resetting your circadian rhythm. A lot of us don't really think about the importance of good sleep. And I can tell you, I am exhibit A. I'm the worst at this. I'm the worst at this. God bless my soul. I'm working on it. It's actually part of my goals for Q2. But we all have to really start to think about our sleeping routine and the importance of making sure that we have a good sleep pre-routine, that we're sleeping well at night, and when we're waking up kind to ourselves. Most of the time, I tend to wake up with worries about what I'm going to do for work, and I hop out of my bed, and I'm like, what's my email? What's this? What's that? No, that really doesn't serve you, and it certainly doesn't serve the chemistry of your brain. The fourth challenge we have around this time is facing frustration over a lack of drive. I'm laughing because this perfectly explains me. The minute I start to get that lack of drive, I start beating myself up. What's going on? And I start being mean and rude to myself. You know what needs to be done, and you usually enjoy doing it, but right now, you just can't bring yourself to get started. You're feeling frustrated with yourself for not being as productive as you should be. This is me all the way. This is me all the way. And I'm sure you identify too. The important thing here and the things that I'm actually practicing is this very important mindset shift. Expecting to feel motivation every single day is unrealistic. It's unrealistic. This is why on this channel I preach systems and I will soon also be preaching discipline. In certain areas of my life, especially in my business and my career and my money, I have always been the perfectly disciplined girly. Very focused, very strategic. I set goals and I achieve them, honey. However, the other aspects of my life, my nutrition, my sleep, my exercise, complete lack of discipline. And for me, a lot of the things that I'm talking about today happens because they touch my personal life. And I had this incredible naive or wrong expectation that every single day I'm going to wake up feeling motivated, and if I don't feel motivated, there's something wrong with me. No. For my job, for my career, for my money, you know what I've done? I do not rely on motivation to make sure my money is taken care of. I have set up systems that keeps me from rising, that keeps me from moving just from a place of motivation. Because, yes, sometimes I'll have bad days and my feelings will get in the way. What I am doing now in my own personal life is to rise above my feeling and focus on my systems. So, the systems that I was able to successfully apply in work, business, career, money, I'm now applying to my personal life. So, here are some practical steps that you can take to overcome this particular challenge. Develop rituals. Instead of relying on motivation, have a set state of work routine. Coffee, music, deep breath work, different things that can signal to your brain that it's time to begin. Brain, we are ready to get into it. For me, for a very long time, it was coffee. Right? I no longer have a mug. I like this because it keeps my drink warm throughout the day. Let me speak it up. For a very long time, for me, it was coffee. I like this cute little container, this not so cute container. I used to drink from a cute little mug, but this keeps my drink warm for a very long time. And there's something to me about a warm drink that just tells my body we're ready to get serious. What I'm struggling with is getting rid of coffee. So what I've started doing right now, I've been ebbing and flowing from coffee to a drink mixture that involves ginger, honey, lemon, and apple cider vinegar. Love that. It's a great little morning routine for me. Oh, and cinnamon. And cinnamon. The cinnamon is the interesting flavor there because it almost kind of makes me feel like I'm having a Starbucks drink. So have something that signals to your brain that we are ready to do work. Let's get started. The practical second step here is to reframe resistance as a signal. If a task feels overwhelming, break it into macro steps so your brain perceives it as an achievable thing rather than a burden. My gosh, this is really important. Our brains are notorious from telling us that, yeah, that's too much work. No, it's too much work. I'm not going to do it. And the thing is, like, your brain is on autopilot. It's working for you even when you don't want it to work. So unless you're really aware of what it's doing behind the scenes, think of your brain like a small little child who you may not think they're damaging things behind the scenes, but they are. So you really need to be aware of, like, what are you doing? I didn't hear from you in about 5 minutes. What are you doing? Subconsciously, your brain will look at a task and it will automatically deduce how hard or easy it is. So this is where you really need to sit down and be like, okay, this may sound like a big task, but it's not, because we are breaking it into all these little different manageable steps. And this automatically gets your brain to calm down and to be ready to work with you. To close out this video, motivation isn't just about being strong, disciplined, or pushing through discomfort. It's about understanding how your brain and your body work. And this will allow you to set yourself up for success. Some days, motivation will flow effortlessly. Other days, external factors, be it time change, you didn't sleep well, you were sick, these things will throw your motivation off. The key, however, is to recognize when it's not about you, but it's about your brain chemistry or your environment. Instead of forcing motivation, work with your biology. Optimize your environment, adjust your habit, and give yourself some grace. Because motivation isn't always about willpower, it truly is about science. If you found value in this video, please share it with somebody who needs it. and subscribe for more great information and videos on finance, career, wealth building, and a little bit of a touch of motivation. I will see you all in the next video.